Hello, how you doing, folks? Weren't expecting that, were you? My name's Brian. I'm hosting today because Martin is literally not feeling well, and he sounds even worse. But I'm joined, thankfully, by Ian. Ian, how are we?
I'm really good. I just put my wee message into the group chat there, and I'm good to go. Doing well. Got a nice wee break coming up, so this will be the last time you see me for a couple of weeks, and but I'll be avidly watching it from where I am for sure.
I know, and Martin has changed, very much so. He's lost hair. He's got a pair of specs. And the beard has got a little bit trimmer, yes. But his internet is holding up, but that's not the issue today. Martin's not feeling great, so we are stepping into the breach for your afternoon rabble. So, welcome to everybody in the comments. Sniper, hello, how you doing? So here we are. It's the question of the day, Ian. So now, when Martin threw this at us, I couldn't believe it. This is the question of the day, folks. What is your favourite, cheesiest pickup line? Now, I thought to myself, well, yeah, he's thrown us under the bus, Ian, hasn't he?
He has, because I didn't have any cheesy pickup lines, but mine were all brilliant. You know, or so I thought. But I tell you what, knowing some of the guys in the comments, I bet they've got some crackers. You know?
Yeah, I'm wondering how many of them we're actually able to bring up, because there's a few of them I can imagine that are less than visible to the public. But that is your question of the day, folks. What is your favorite cheesy pickup line? Now, it's for everybody. So I just don't speak to women easier that well. Yeah, London, it's a safe bet sometimes. But Ian, so what is yours?
I don't. Do you know? I've genuinely not used one, but I think I heard my mate say one that was at the time quite funny, and it was something along the lines of, "Are you a camera? Because all I do is smile when I see you." You know. And I thought, Jesus, I couldn't get away with that. That's not my type of kind of carry on. But I know that it was something along those lines that he said, "Are you a camera? Because all I do when I see you is smile," or something like that, But I've had a wee bit of time to think about it. But as you say, it just got dropped on us, didn't it? I know. Yeah, there's 10 pence going from you. I probably have said that one.
Yeah, I think everybody said that one. Or there's 50p or phone your.
I tell you what, James is showing his age there, because it's been a while since you could put 10 pence in a phone box.
Correct. Very much so. I mean, the other one I heard not long ago was, "You're a 9 out of 10 and I'm the one to make you a 10.
Nah, that's a good one.
You know what I mean? So that's about all I've got. I mean, I don't really use them either. I'm much the same as London. Just stay away. Just stay away. It's safer.
Or was it more a case that they stayed away, Brian?
Well, possibly that as well. Yes, absolutely. So, get your favourite cheesy pickup lines in, and we will post the most visible ones, which are not unclean, to say the least. And we've got your mystery player. So, the mystery player of the day. Who am I? Now, this guy started off his career in Dundee United in 1987. He played 151 appearances, scoring 8 goals. He then left Dundee United in 1995 and joined Rangers in 1995. Played 96 games for Rangers, scoring 4 goals. He left Rangers in 1998 and joined Everton and played 35 games, scoring no goals. So he had 282 club appearances with 12 goals. I'll run through that quickly.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It's not too easy, not too difficult. That's a good one today.
So 1987 joined at Dundee United, left Dundee United in 95, joined Rangers, stayed at Rangers till 1998, left Rangers, went to Everton, and stopped playing in 2002 with Everton. So that is your "Who am I today?" Few few answers in. Sniper, one day you might get that right. One day. We might get that right one day. We might get that right. So keep getting your cheesy pickup lines in. Keep getting the who am I's in. And we will crack on, Ian, with the news, obviously, that the Pyro stuff at Ibrox now, this is becoming a bit of an issue now. Big issue, because the club is now being fined again. This has obviously happened before. What on earth can the club do to stop this?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways of looking at this. I mean, there's a philosophical viewpoint on it, and then there's what's happening for real on the ground. Now, to me, I think Rangers have been particularly soft with the folk that have been setting these pyros off. And I was having a wee think about it last night, Brian, because I think a lot of the young team nowadays are sanitised and not allowed to be young, daft boys an awful lot of the time. But there comes a point where, you have to consider everyone else's health and safety. That's paramount. And if you think about it, it made me think about the unique position that the Union Bears have got, which is great for the atmosphere in the stadium. It's brilliant. If Christ, at the Hibs game, I remember if it wasn't for them, there would have been no atmosphere whatsoever. But what I will say is the brand new area that we've spent lots of money on for the disabled supporters, these guys, I think it we mentioned in our group chat today as well, some of these guys are likely to have comorbidities that go along with whatever ailments that they have. Mm-hmm. So if they're getting smoked out by flares, that's not a particularly good look, I don't think. So to that end, that just the health and safety aspect of it all, can you imagine how much you used to hate it when someone sat, I'm old enough to remember when someone sat beside you chain smoking at Ibrox, and you'd literally go home, your clothes would reek of cigarettes, and horrible. Now, can you imagine the cigarette sounds like a healthier option compared to a flare, doesn't it? The sheer amount of smoke that comes off a flare. But I think to be honest, my understanding is, I think I said to you today, I thought flares it was actually a criminal offence to bring a flare to a ground. But then I started seeing them appearing at Ibrox and not just Ibrox, all over the country. And I thought, well, there must have been some sort of relaxing of the rules, so to speak. But I don't think there has been, nothing that we could find this morning. So I'm not quite sure as to if it's just being conveniently ignored and swept under the carpet, or maybe have Rangers made an agreement with the people that are doing the flares, but it's certainly not getting the press coverage. So it's one thing Gilligan coming out and saying, incidentally, we've just been fined €13,000 or whatever the figure was, to be exact. But what's he then doing about it? It's dead easy to see someone who has a flare. Even 1980s CCTV could have picked that up. You know what I mean? As much as we're not known for our technical brilliance in the stadium, that we paid in excess of £2 million for a Wi-Fi, it doesn't work. But I would imagine the CCTV's picking up the people that are waving the flares about, and if it's having a direct health impact on the people around us, bearing in mind a brand new section that we were put out our own stadium for is directly above where all the pyros have been getting set off. So yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? I can see us clamping down on this now. But it'll be interesting, Brian. Do you think we'll see the flares again come the next European match? Absolutely.
I think I put that in one of the, I think it was last night's members pod. I asked the question. I says, do you seriously think that there won't be a pyro display at Stour game? There will be.
Yeah.
There's nothing to deter them. Stadium closure. I guarantee, if it's a stadium closure, will it be the part that it's happening in?
Mm-hmm.
You would like to think it would be, but anything's, because I dare say, would it be UEFA that designate the stand that's shut? Or,
well, shouldn't we get ahead of this as a club and issue issue bans and issue fines ourselves rather than waiting for UEFA to come in. Because if we wait for UEFA to come in, then the punishment's only going to be at least twofold, you would have thought.
Well, you'd think, but I mean,
Yeah.
bearing in mind where the flares and the pyros are happening, you've got a disabled section. You've then got people in the Copeland that have sat for goodness knows how many years. If that stands shut purely because of the behaviour of these fans, well, not behaviour, but the actions of these fans that are letting off these pyros, how do you then tell the people that are in the disabled section or sitting around these guys, oh, well, I'm sorry, this stand's got to be shut because of the pyros? Well, they had nothing to do with it. So why should the whole stand get punished for 200-300?
It's not just that, Brian. Can you imagine? Imagine if one of these supporters that are sitting in their new section decide to take action against Rangers for making the condition worse.
Yeah,
you know, well, I mean, that's not unthinkable. They don't go to the new section to get smoked out. You know,
yeah. I think somebody in the group chat today said as well, you know, there's a possibility of like heightening at like people with asthma problems, and you know, things like that if they breathe in the fumes. So there's a lot of, and I would dare, I mean, goodness knows, I mean, if somebody has an asthma attack and something really bad happens, then well, I would hate to see the fallout from that. But Stephen Robertson, thank you for your I believe it's $2 Australian.
Australian
dollars. Thank you very much.
15.5 pence in British money.
I was looking at that. I was thinking, what currency is that as Australian dollar?
No, I don't know what it is. I think it's roughly half. I think.
It's something like that. I can't remember. Pyro on with something. Ian, you mark.
I'm guessing what he's saying there is Pyro on the way out. Ian, you mark my words. What do you think?
Well, it's good. It's almost like everything else. It's almost like something bad has got to happen before something gets better. I mean, you look at anything in life, you know, like a road, you know, needs upgraded because something's happening. You know, people unfortunately have got to pass away before things like that get upgraded, and anything that takes up, you know, there's always something bad's got to happen before things get better. Instead, as you say, getting ahead of the game and solving it before anything bad happens.
Yeah. So Stephen just clearing up there. He's saying he reckons the Pyro will be there at the weekend.
Possibly. Defiance.
You know? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, I think after Gilligan coming out and making the statement, would you not assume there'd be a bit more of a robust take on it at the stadium? You know?
Could be. But I mean,
if you're not gonna take action on it, I mean, fair enough. Mention the amount of fines and the financial cost to the club. I absolutely get that, but you know, I think what he said is it has to stop. You know,
did Gilligan come out and give figures on how much the mismanagement of the board has cost?
Exactly.
I think that might amount to more than a few thousand euros.
I said exactly that. I don't know if it was in the group chat or I think, do you know what? I think it might have been in last night's members pod. I think I mentioned in the comments about, you know, 30. I mean, the monetary sum's not important here. What's important here is the human element. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got this brand new section that we're essentially lighting a fire under. Where else would you get to do that? You know, you just wouldn't get to do that anywhere else. And don't get me wrong, I love the pyros when the Rangers fans all lit up the Clyde. It looked fantastic. Outside the ground after winning the league, amazing. All of these things looked really impressive. But when you're in a stadium, and especially if you've got disabled supporters in your proximity, you've got to have a common sense approach to that. And if Rangers can't knuckle down on that, Brian, who is going to? Because if it's a criminal offence, you know, all of your local police in attendance have got every right to make an arrest. That's the point.
Absolutely. And I suppose the stewards as well have got a duty as well. They're working in the stadium. They've, you know, if they see something that's like illegal, you've got to like act on it and do something. Yeah, in London, 97 watching, 15 likes. Come on, folks. I know Martin always goes on about the likes. Well, let's hit 50 before, say, in 10 minutes. 10 minutes to hit 50 likes. Come on, let's see if we can get that number up.
Can I just quickly say, I'm still alive for people in the comments.
Yeah,
feeling about it. I'm still alive.
As you can see, folks, Martin is hanging on by a fingernail there. He's really struggling. He's
been ill for a few days. He had a really bad day, and then he kind of blasted. Was it yesterday and the day before? And then today it's going to come back at him, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's struggling a wee bit.
Come on, give Martin the likes, sympathy likes. We're looking for sympathy likes today for Martin. Let's get some likes to make him feel better, because I think the more likes he gets, the more he'll feel better. There we go. So we'll go back to your player of the day. Who am I today? Started at Dundee United in 1987, stayed at Dundee United till 1995, playing 151 appearances and scoring 8 goals. He then moved to Rangers in 1995, staying till 1998, playing 96 games, scoring 4 goals. He then moved to Everton in 1998 and stayed till 2002. He played 35 games and scored no goals. So that was 282 appearances for Dundee United, Rangers and Everton, and he scored 12 goals. Get your Who Am I's in now. And we have another donation from Stephen Robertson.
Stephen's incredible.
Still kicking on for them likes. He certainly is. Stephen, you should know him better by now. He is the man. He's a hound for the likes.
He's a great supporter of the channel. Even in the Discord page, he's always positive. You know what I mean? And he's up for a laugh as well. You know.
Very much.
Lad.
And your cheesy pickup lines, folks. Come on, let's get them in.
I tell you who should have a cheesy pickup line. Is this guy?
Yeah. He's got a million of them.
Come on, Robert. Let's hear one of your cheesy pickup lines, Robert. Come on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sure that's done a fair bit of damage around the central belt of Scotland at some point, you know.
And it's now happening down where he lives. I'm not going to say where he lives because I don't want to do that to him. No, but I'm quite surprised as well. Have we seen Gallant put one in yet? I mean, I'm disappointed he's not got one.
Nah, I thought Gallant would have been in there with them.
No, I've certainly not seen one from him, so I'm quite disappointed in that. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
The Love Island reject himself, Rab the Kebab. Lyndon, come on.
Well, listen, apparently Robert's put one in, Martin, so if you're in the wee engine room behind us there, you've got time to go and dig that out. So I'm interested to see what Robert's chat up line would have been.
Absolutely. So what, has basically Gilligan's statement fallen on deaf ears? Simple as that.
It's not falling on deaf ears. It's not falling on deaf ears. I would have thought, but there's an element of okay, but what about the big parts? What about the CEO appointment? What about the director of football appointment? What about the everything else that we don't have? How's that coming along? Because see, when you get director statements, Brian, the bit they're updating you about always comes at the end, just like it did there. You know what I mean? So, because I think when we all saw the chairman was going to, I think it was a 10 or 15 minute pause or tweet put out, prior to the chairman making the live comments. So we were all thinking, oh, here we go. We've appointed someone. But it wasn't about that. I mean, we can't knock Gilligan for giving us an update, because we've been asked to be updated, even if it's stuff we don't want to hear, which was very much the case here. It was a bit of bad news, a bit of information on the fact that what the pyrotechnics has cost us, and how much it has to stop. So it's good to get the update to that end. But I think we all hoped that it was, by the way, we've found a CEO, or we've found, the various other roles that need to be filled within the, what's he saying? the other roles that need to be filled within the club. So I think that's what we all kind of hope for, and it's not what materialised. But at the very end of his statement, he said that we're quite far down the road, and we've got a list of candidates, of top level candidates, that are ready to be looked at seriously. But just in lieu of that, I think Dave King's point on the using a consultancy firm, a recruitment firm, Brian, was was something that kind of struck a chord with me, because if you're in the network, if you're in the proper network as a football club, then you should have half an idea of where to point your recruitment club and who you would like to see. I'm pretty sure the majority of clubs that appoint a CEO or director of football have got a network that dictates that they could put out, feelers to these certain individuals. And that's my point about the board. I don't think the board have got a network past who they know in Scotland to essentially find a suitable candidate. And that's why they're using a consultancy group. So we're putting a lot of faith in this consultancy group to supply us with a list of candidates that are suitable.
Absolutely. And I suppose there's not many people on the board that they can muscle away, speak to and say, get them on the board, is there? Because there's virtually only about 3 or 4 people left. And
at least half of those people are kind of have a dotted line into the board, Brian. Yeah. Hence the reason John Bennett went off, overworked. And that may very well be the case, and if that is the case, then surely what you do is, you've got, try and get more arms to the wheel. If would be the obvious thought process, but that's not the case. But appointing board members and appointing a CEO are two very different things. But yeah. Anyway, what have we? Cheesy lines. What have you seen any good ones, Brian? I've seen you laughing there.
I've seen some good ones, but I've got to announce the Who Am I Today. So the Who Am I Today, I'll lastly say his career. 1987, he joined Dundee United. He played till 1995. He played 151 appearances, scoring 8 goals. He then joined Rangers in 95, staying till 98, playing 96 times, scoring 4 goals, before finally moving to Everton on 1998 till 2002, playing 35 games, scoring 0 goals. So, Ian, who is the Who Am I?
Well, I made the mistake that everyone else made here in the comments. That my initial thought was to go for Big Duncan Ferguson. But then I thought, no, the dates are wrong. Duncan was earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Alex Cleland.
You're perfectly correct. Alex Cleland is the guy. He is the Who Am I Today. I mean, I can't believe he only played 282 club appearances.
Oh, I mean, that's still quite a lot of appearances, Brian. It's not chicken change, It's not
1987 till 2002. Remember?
But remember, he was a utility guy, so he would often say he kind of took over that role from John Brown when we took him on. He pretty much filled a lot of the gaps. We'd see him playing in the midfield, and we'd see him playing at fullback and all that kind of stuff. So he was, I think that's fair to say, a replacement for John Brown. Or certainly an understudy as such, the same way he tried to do with Craig Moore for Richard Gough and all that kind of stuff, if you remember. But no, I think good servant to the club and good player of the day question, because it was, I think the obvious one was, as soon as you mentioned the Dundee United and the dates, all I saw was Duncan Ferguson appearing in the comments. Yeah,
they went all in on Duncan, didn't they? And Stephen Robertson, once again, he's gifted 1 Rangers Rabble podcast membership. Super. Very much appreciated, Stephen. You're an absolute demon. You really are. You're some guy. So everybody went all in the Big Dunk. You could have argued Gary Boland. That was around the same time with it. Was Cleland and Boland not signed in a double deal?
Yeah, they were at the same time. I was just thinking there, what do you think Big Dunk's cheesy pickup line would have been? Yeah. Bash over the head, over the shoulder, up the road.
Simple as that. Yeah, absolutely.
I know.
100%. So that was your Who Am I Today. I mean, as I say, there was 2 or 3 candidates there, and everybody went for Big Dunk. And it was as Ian said there, it was an obvious one, but it just wasn't quite right. So
there we go. Duncan's cheesy line. Come here, you. That'll be it.
No, Mel, I'm certainly not a magician. Unfortunately not. I wish I was, but I'm not.
So what am I missing there? Why is she saying that?
I dare say there's a follow-up, but I would magic Martin to feel better. There you go.
Okay.
I'd make Martin feel better if I was a magician. So I wish I
was. Well, listen, we can't do this too well today, otherwise he'll fake illness, right?
I know.
So let's not make this that good. Which I'm sure when we come off, Martin will tell me it's not been that good.
Everybody hates a suck up, Brian. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on a minute. Well, he looked all right there. By the way,
exactly.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. He was dying when we first started, and now he's quite chipper. But
that's a good question. That's a good question there. Can I just pick up from Stephen Robinson? I was thinking about this the other day because I had my season ticket from 1986. I've got to say, Stephen, but my first game before that, I think, was back in 1984 at home to Dundee United. I've got recollections of that. It's a bit hazy, and that was the time when I think we talked about yesterday. We weren't a particularly strong Rangers in 1984.
12, 15,
so I think that was probably my first Rangers game. What about yours, Brian? When was yours?
My first game actually was a week early. I went to Rangers Hibs in '88, and it was a stinking 0-0. We should have won, but we didn't. And the very week after, we went and humped Celtic 5-1 in the Balkans goal.
Oh, that was a great day. I remember because coming from Dunoon, we had that 5-1 win, and then we made our way down to Cowell games. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Cowell games, but it's fantastic. 300 pipe bands going through my hometown in Dunoon, and it was if I could relive a day again, it would be that day. Cracking result, head back home into an absolute festival carnival in Dunoon. Dunoon was thriving in those days, So very good stuff. No, I'm not quite as Wilf describes it. I'm of a similar vintage, but I'm younger than Wilf. But what I will tell you is when I was speaking with Wilf, Sniper, I actually started going to the games before him.
Well, so maybe you are older.
I think Wilf was a late starter to the football games. I've certainly not been anywhere near as many as very good. I've certainly not been at as many games as Wilf, that's for sure. But I was certainly at the games. I started going to the games before he did. We worked that out, Exactly. I know.
Jeez.
That's a good one.
Looking ahead to Sunday, Ian, we're away to Kilmarnock. A place we've either done really well at or we've really struggled at. So what do you see Sunday going like?
It's a tough one. It's a tough pitch and all it's a bit of a leveler, that ground, isn't it? And you don't know what quite to expect, Brian, when you get there. And it's often you find whoever, like some Ibrox on a sunny day, big wide open spaces, the quality shines through. But on these fourth generation pitches or plastic surfaces, you often find it's the team that wants it the most that wins. It becomes a bit of a square go, if you like.
It's a scrap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a scrap, and we've succumbed to Kilmarnock down there before. You know what I mean? On more than one occasion, and recently. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, because it'll be literally a physical contest and a bit of a fight to see who's the victor there. But I still fancy us to win that. I'm going to go for a 2-0, 2-1 to Rangers on that. Tough one to come back to, I've got to say. Tough one to come back to. But the next run of fixtures are tough, Brian.
Yeah, you've got Kilmarnock won once this season, drew 3, lost 3. So form's certainly not on their side. But we all know that, as you say, this pitch is a bit of a leveler. And silly things can happen. Can happen. So it's very much one of these ones where, as you say, we hopefully don't get dogged down in a fight with Kilmarnock, because they've got the know-it-all to get around that pitch, and they play on it most weeks, so they're very much used to doing things, acting like making it very difficult for certain teams to get there. So hopefully, as I say, we'll get down to Kilmarnock and bring back the 3 points. So, folks, we're just about there. It's half an hour.
Wow, that was
out
quick.
for the members. I know it's a quick half hour.
Mm.
Out for members tonight, 7:30. It's tonight's VAR show, so that is on at 7:30 tonight.
That'll be a good show. That'll be a good show. I like that.
Yeah, I might actually tune into that because VAR really irks me, and it probably irks a lot of people. So there's a lot.
Hold on, we've got to bring Wilf in here. There we go. No banana on Sunday. 4-0 to the famous. Yeah. I tell you what, I would make sure if I was at Rangers, I would make sure Wilf's at every game. Just spouting that out. It's no second best, nothing but victory, please.
Absolutely. And here it is, Martin.
Can I just say a massive thank you to everybody who's tuned in? Apologies, I haven't been here. The Undertaker. Yes, apologies, I haven't been on for a couple of days. I have been quite seriously ill. But
Martin, look, you've not been missed. Look, great Rabble, Brian and Ian.
I haven't been missed, and I think.
By the way, I'm not doing it again. Just to let you know.
I think you two should just do it for time and
You said that.
Again, can I just say a massive thank you for all the super chats, for all the likes and shares and subscribes, and we are rocketing towards 300 members as well on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. And like the guys say, get your likes in. It really helps the algorithm. And for the members tonight on YouTube memberships and Patreon, links for both are in the description. Tonight at 7:30, we will have the VAR review, where the guys take a look at what Willie Collum's got to say. We show clips as well, and we discuss the decisions that are made. But Brian, I'll leave it in your capable hands.
I was about to say, Martin, 45 likes.
It's just not good enough. It's not acceptable. So get your likes in, folks. The more likes we get, the more he shares it. And
a
the
good
more
few folk watching us, though. They're just not liking.
Well, I don't know what's going on with them, but they better start liking. Otherwise, when I'm feeling better, then I'll find them.
Otherwise, you'll make Brian and Ian do more presentations.
And he'll almost come back like Thanos with the Infinity Stones and obliterate everybody.
Exactly.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to come back, but who's the new boy at the bottom? Exactly. Well, exactly. So, yes, we've got the members show tonight at 7:30 with the look back at Willie Collum's VAR show. If you're interested in that, please tune in. My thanks to Ian. Thank you.
Cheers, Brian. Thanks for having me on. It's really good. I'll be off for a while, but I'm sure I'll be watching avidly from my margarita in hand at the pool,
Yes, folks. Ian is going on holiday for 2 weeks, so yes. Martin, thank you very much for doing the bits behind the scenes. Thank you.
Here comes a cheeky comment. There we go.
No, there is a watch along on Sunday. Yes.
All right. Okay.
There's a watch along on Sunday. So my thanks to Ian, my thanks to Martin, my thanks to everybody in the comments. It was a good fun. The Who Am I and the favourite cheesy pickup lines. I had a good laugh at some of them. So my thanks to everyone, and we shall see you soon.